Hello, and welcome again to one episode of my podcast, Your Voice. Today with me is a special lady. Hi, Agnes. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. How are you today? Good?
Oh, yeah, it's lovely. The
Yes.
weather is getting warm, so I really enjoying the weather these days. How are you,
Yes.
Cutie?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you very much. Also enjoying the lovely spring weather. And I will just jump in and, of course, invite you, Agnes, to tell us a little bit about yourself and about interesting topic that we will be talking today, right? It's about food connected with nature, also connected with social, let's say, interactions and so on, right? Just tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, what projects are you working on? Yes. And where are you from?
I'm from Korea and I'm a professor teaching industry in university. And also I'm studying for the PhD candidate. And also I'm the founder of the climate food lab Smoochie. And personally, I'm a mom of two boys. It could be the tough job in my
Yes,
life.
I agree. I agree. Sweet, sweet. So you always have to balance out, right? The personal life and the career or job, right?
Yeah, sometimes it's tough, but I really trying to make a balance between my career and personal life.
Tell us, has food always been part of your story or life? When did you decide, for example, to go into that particular direction?
Actually, I start with a traditional culinary background at Le Cordon Bleu, one of the best culinary school in Paris. Actually, becoming a mother, changing my perspective, I realized that the food is really important to make people healthy. And even though they are sad or they are sick, food can make them healed, especially when I work as a mom. I realized that what I feed for them could make them healthy person, like inner, like a peace. I can heal their mind. So my inner voice is a sense of responsibility to ensure a sustainable table for the next generation.
It sounds really interesting. How has food changed, Agnes? Let's say if you compare the Korean history of food, or has it changed a lot if you compare it with your youth and now with the children?
Yes, as you know, these days climate change are
Mhm,
very tricker critical
mhm,
issue. So in Korea, many people worried about the sustainable table,
mhm,
especially for next generation. Food
mhm,
is not just a fuel. We need to having a responsibility to protect the healthy food and engineering healthy menu. So
mhm.
I really focus on research the climate gastronomy.
Wow. Sounds so interesting. Climate gastronomy and let's say the sustainable menu or
Mhm.
food.
Yeah.
Can you explain and clarify to all of people watching or listening what is sustainable food for you?
For I hmm, actually I hope people today just find just a dopamine, food is a
Mhm.
very spicy or very non unnatural food, just a fast food. But I believe food can be the most beautiful language to connect the people and make them healthy. So I hope people just to see the food just like a viewer. I hope
Mhm.
they needed to add more value on their food or their table with their
Absolutely.
with their family.
Tell me a little bit, because I'm now comparing already the cultures like Slovenian culture and then Korean culture. And we spoke before the podcast, and I explained that, for example, in my region, this is the way that I see it, of course, is that we food on the table from the
Mhm.
field, let's say, because we do have a lot of agriculture around here and we don't have necessarily any relationship with food, right? What I'm thinking about is, so in what perspective do you teach them, or do you have any, maybe how do you express this value with food, with people? How do you explain and clarify to them, okay, this is valuable, this is, healthy for you?
Mhm. Yeah, so actually these days I'm thinking about our planet. So like a carbon footprint, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, in Korea, many people just throw away their food garbage.
Mm. Mm.
Nowadays, I'm trying to make a new recipe to using zero waste.
Oh, wow.
So a few days ago, I make some recipes using garbage chicken bone. You know,
Mhm.
chicken bone can be a good ingredient for the chicken stock or natural,
Yes.
natural base in any soup and any sauce. So
Mm.
like that, I'm trying to make a planet happy, and
Wow.
also people needed to think more about the planet.
Absolutely, I agree with you, Agnes. Absolutely, and I love in what direction this is going when you said that this
Mhm.
sustainability and the relationship and value. It
Yeah.
just means that we don't throw away food, because this is exactly the issue I see here with food as
Mhm.
well. Because normally we would really eat a lot. So, for example,
Yeah.
if we go to a restaurant or if we cook at home, let's say it's a
Mhm.
four-member family, we
Yeah.
usually make so much food that probably two or three people could also eat.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we throw away the rest of the food. So we don't have this mindset there yet. And I think it's so beautiful what you're doing and providing people with another view. You can do that
Mhm.
too, like, not recycle, but really make, I will say, the value of food actually grows. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, that's nice. Actually, in the market, we can see the vegetables or fruits are very beautiful and pretty. So that means ugly tomatoes, ugly apple just can be a throwaway. So we can use the ugly potato and
Hmm.
ugly tomato can be a good ingredient. So that's one of the way to protect our planet.
Lovely, lovely. It sounds really good. I see, for example, in our stores, yeah, that food that is not beautiful, as you say, or maybe older, that is also discounted. So a lot of the stores, they started not to throw away the food, but actually discount this food so
Mhm.
we can buy it at a cheaper price. And I have to say, I a lot of times took that
Mhm.
vegetables or fruit, and I use it in soups, or let's say in other products, for example, in smoothies and so on with fruits. Yeah. So I will say I kind of started to go in this direction, to see that it's really a waste of energy and basically also money if we don't, eat, or we use the food that we throw away. That's true.
Yeah. In my classroom, my student ask me sometimes, teacher, can I throw away this ingredient? I don't need it. But no, actually, I already say no. We can use it next class. And they sometimes are surprised. It's just a chicken bone teacher like that. But after the class, I really study how I can make a new recipe with ingredient they
Wow.
throw away. And
Mm.
after that, they are just so shocked when I introduced a new recipe. But I hope they can inspired by me to save the earth, new perspective about
Mhm.
the food.
Lovely, lovely. You mentioned before a menu that you developed, yes?
Hmm.
Smoochie Smoochie, is this the name?
Yeah, yes, which is
Yes. Is this
it's a
part of,
slogan.
huh? Tell us a little bit about this menu.
Menu. These days, actually, I'm working on the recipe about the sesame. You know the sesame, right? Actually, sesame is one of the traditional ingredient in Korea.
Mhm.
Many people just use the sesame as a kind of oil, but I actually focus on the garbage of the. I don't know the exact the word, so I just express the garbage. So
Yes, it's okay.
after making an oil, we can
Mhm.
get some uh
Waste, you mean like waste?
paste of sesame. So many people just throw away the paste of the sesame
Right.
after making an oil. But nowadays, I'm making a menu about the paste of the sesame. So
Mhm.
I think it could be a good ingredient, and
Mhm.
I can make a more delicious paste to spread on the bread like that.
Mhm.
So that's one of the recipe I'm working on these days.
Lovely, lovely. Agnes, tell us, who are the students who come to you? So, what are they actually studying? So, who are and what would be their mission then in life or their occupation once they leave the university?
Uh, they are actually undergraduate student, and their specialty is F&B industry, also
Mhm.
culinary. So nowadays, and especially in this semester, I'm a professor to teach a skill of the Western food, Western culinary.
Mm.
But
Interesting.
yeah, in curriculum, actually, I don't need to teach them about the climate gastronomy, but in many class, I sometimes introduce about the climate gastronomy and the relationship between climate and food. And
Mm.
I hope they learn about the concept of the climate gastronomy.
Is it a fairly new concept that you are teaching this climate gastronomy, or has it been for years in Korea already?
Actually, in Smoochie, I teach in many ways,
Mm-hmm.
like a 1 day class, but in university, in many class, many subject, I introduced the concept of the climate gastronomy because there's no title of the class climate gastronomy or nature and food like that. So I think I needed to teach them about the sustainable table to the
Mm.
students because they can be the future chef in many ways. So that means they can have a big experience and big impact to the social into family society. So I think they needed to learn about the sustainable table. So
Mm.
I feel responsibility to
Mm.
teach them in this kind of way.
Lovely, lovely. I also believe that sustainability, especially in food, is the future. We should be more aware, like you
Yeah.
said, value food more and really not take it just as a fuel or something material, right? But something that actually benefits us in so many ways. I totally agree. So, what would you say, Agnes, is the trend? Are Korean people open to your ideas of sustainable food, and what do students say? What is their feedback?
Oh, actually, they are not familiar with this kind of concept, climate gastronomy these days, but now I have chance to introduce this kind of concept these days. And also many industry and many companies having marketing for the ESG program. So
Mm-hmm.
they really wanna have background helping the society. So
Mm,
actually, I persuaded them to develop the menu or teach people about the sustainable table. And
mm,
they usually have an open mind. So
mm.
after a few years later in Korea, many people have this kind of concept, I believe.
Lovely, lovely. So you are the one, the pioneer in this field.
Oh
That's
yeah.
amazing to be the first and to actually really do so well and support the environment and the climate. I think it's so important. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Lovely to hear. What is the typical, or let's say, yeah, cuisine, Korean cuisine? What do Koreans enjoy to eat?
Actually, traditionally, Korean people enjoy the vegetable, not meat, because
Mhm.
agriculture was the one of the biggest industry in Korea many years ago. But nowadays, many food industry in Korea imported many meat.
Mhm.
So nowadays, in many family, uh, they dietary menu is changed a lot
Mhm. Mhm.
from vegetable to meat, you
Mm.
know.
Mhm.
But actually, many Korean people having a disease because of their dietary
Mm.
problem. So
Mhm.
nowadays, many people think about vegetable menu and vegan menu like that.
I understand. How important is actually then food with Korean people? So, for example, in Slovenia, Sunday, I would say Sunday lunch is very important, where all the family gathers, and sometimes also, grandma, granddad come, so the older generations join us. So it's very important to have a really hearty, good Sunday meal together as a family. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking. Or for example, when we have this ceremonies like weddings and things, all people come and we interact over food. Yeah. So how important is food for you?
In Korea, we have two biggest holiday named
Mhm.
Seol and
Mhm.
Chuseok.
Mm.
So in this kind of holidays, the grandparents family and parents family and next generation family who gathered and shared the food on same table. It's a
Mhm.
kind of a big tradition. Also, we have ancestral rites. So to celebrate to memorize that ancestor and we memorize them, we prepared a lot of food, traditional food, and shared the dinner like that. So
Mm.
that's kind of the family time with the food in Korea.
I see. Lovely. What about in business? Do you make any deals over food, for example, that you maybe invite some business partners to dinner and then you make business
Oh.
with them over food or not? Is food not part of the deal?
Actually, in Korea, restaurant industry is very developed. That
Mm,
means people usually don't invite business people to their house. So just in restaurant, they have a time with the business people
mm,
and share the food. But if you are invited from other people, like you think he or she is a business relationship, that means you are so meaningful guest.
mm,
No? Yes.
mm,
Inviting people to their house and share their house comfort food, that is very meaningful in Korea.
I see. I see. I think we have the same thing also in Slovenia. Like when we invite people in that are
Hmm.
business partners, definitely. It's not
Hmm.
that common actually to do
Yeah.
that at all because we kind of separate business and family life. We
Oh,
kind of are proud to do that, in a way. This is my opinion. So we don't necessarily connect with that, but yeah, it definitely is meaningful when we invite them also
yeah.
into our house. I'm thinking now about sweet dishes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking about cakes, for example.
Mm-hmm.
When we have Yeah, I think desserts are really big deal also in Slovenia, especially when I told you about the Sunday lunch. We normally also have sweet dishes like a dessert after that, right? We
Mm-hmm.
normally don't eat it with every lunch, but Sunday is special for us. How is it with desserts in your country? When do you eat them or do you eat them separately?
Actually, in Korea, I think there's no culture having a dessert after every meal. Just we enjoy the sweetness in daytime when they need more energy
Mm,
and they just having a date. Uh, it's kind of a trend, like sweetness is kind of a trend.
uh,
Yeah, yeah. So it's not the necessary menu after the regular meal. We
mm,
just having lots of cafe and dessert shops.
I
So
see.
it's a really separated concept in
Ah,
Korea.
I see. I see. Is there any typical dessert, like you would say this is Korean dessert? Do you have it?
Yeah, actually, I really introduced to you Korean traditional sweetness dessert is a yakgwa. It's a
Uh-huh.
kind of brownie. It's a but little bit different.
Mhm.
So it's a very chewy and shape of the round like a cookie, but it's a very
Mhm.
sweet and chewy. It's a very it's kind of what can no, there's no texture describing this kind of
I
dessert.
see. I
Yeah,
see.
yeah. So you can try if you visit in Korea. I can show you.
I will
Yeah.
definitely. That would be amazing. I love sweet dishes. I love to also taste them
Mm-hmm.
because in every culture they're different, and it always intrigued me. Cakes, especially. For example, in Slovenia, we have typical cakes
Uh-huh.
like sponge, and then we have cream filling and things like that. So this is like a birthday cake. But then every region, for example, well, almost every region, I will say, Slovenia is small, but a lot of regions, we have a
Mhm.
special sweet dish. For example,
Mhm.
in Prekmurje, where I come from, we have this Prekmurska gibanica, which is a layered cake with
Mhm.
different fruits. For example, grated apples,
Mhm.
walnuts, poppy seeds, like in
Mhm.
layers. And then
Mhm.
some other, like in Bled, for example, maybe you've tasted it, kremšnita, like this cream filling cake. Did you taste it? Maybe
Mhm.
I'm not sure when you were there, but anyway, so this is what we have. So really different sweets. Yeah, Agnes, tell me. Yes, tell me.
Actually, I really enjoyed the dessert in Slovenia before. So texture is so great, and the balance of the sweet and texture is very perfect. As I remember.
I would say that we are actually really good in that. So that we, like you said, we do balance them out, that they are
Mhm.
not too sweet, but also that they have, like you say, very beautifully texture is important indeed. So I believe we do make good desserts. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Some people will now probably say, we do also other stuff, but I think in desserts are really good. Yeah, definitely. I'm now thinking, Agnes, what about the drinking culture in Korea? Specifically, let's say non-alcoholic drinks. We mentioned coffee before. Can you tell us a little bit about culture of drinking? Do you drink any other beverages or non-alcoholic drinks in Korea?
In Korea, many people love coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Korea is one of the biggest country to drinking coffee.
Wow.
There are so many Starbucks and so many coffee shops.
Mm-hmm.
But these days, young generation having a trend to drink tea. They think more about their health and Asian to culture. So
Mhm.
among the younger generation, there's trend of the tea culture, but usually Korean people love drinking a coffee.
Agnes, do you also drink coffee?
Yeah,
Yes.
so the first thing I wake up is just drinking a coffee every morning.
Lovely. How many cups of coffee do you drink a day? I drink a lot, by the way. That's why I'm asking.
Usually, 2 cups of coffee a
Two
day.
cups.
Yeah, yes. First two thing in the morning, and the second one is after lunch, maybe.
I see. How do you make coffee, by the way? Because, for example, here in Slovenia, we make coffee like we say Turkish coffee, which means we grind the coffee and then we boil water and then we put spoons of coffee in and mix it together and then we pour it out into the cup. So we have a lot of this, leftover of coffee in the cup when we drink it. How do you make coffee?
Actually, I have a coffee machine in
Mhm.
house.
Mhm.
So I just make two shot of two espresso,
I
two shot
see.
of espresso, and adding hot milk. So
Mhm.
that could be cafe latte. So
Yes.
yeah, that's what I love. In my husband's case, he just like a shot of espresso.
I see. Very, very nice. So a lot of I see also here a lot of Slovenians also have coffee machines at home and they do the coffee. But we say that this Turkish coffee, like we do it, right? It's a little bit different. So when
Yeah.
you come and visit us in Slovenia, you can try it if you like. And yeah, it's the people say it's a little bit different. Like Turkish coffee is more intense or has more flavor than the other. But it depends. I will say every coffee is good coffee. I drink it, every day. I love to drink it. So it really for me, it doesn't matter in which kind of form it comes. Yeah. Agnes, tell me, what about water? How is the water valued in Korea? Do you have any special relationship with water that you drink or not? What is the trend?
As you know, I'm water sommelier in Korea.
Mhm, mhm,
Actually, in Korea, many people having a purification machine in their own house. That
mhm,
means they don't believe the tap water is safe. So they
mhm,
just buy bottled water or using a purification machine for clean water.
mhm,
Long time ago in Korea, people just to get a water from the mountain, like a spring water. But
mhm,
yeah, but these days the circumstance changed and they don't believe the safe of the water from nature.
mhm,
So nowadays people really interested in the water industry and they want to get some more minerals and more taste from the diverse water brand.
mhm.
Mhm. And
I
they
see.
and they believe Coca-Cola or sparkling water is not healthy and they just want drink water is good
Mhm,
for their healthy and health. And I think people in Korea really interested in their health issue.
mhm, mhm.
That's why
So,
they, yeah,
mhm,
that's
mhm,
why
sorry.
they interested in water, I think.
But in general, what is your feeling with drinking water? For example, here, just to give you an example, we say we have to drink more water, we have to drink 2 liters of water a day. This is like a typical message I would hear everyone say. How is the trend in do people drink enough water? What is your opinion about this?
As I told you before, Korean people really love caffeine, especially coffee. That means they having a hidden thirst, actually. So they know already drinking 2 liter water a day is very important for their health. but actually they can make it. Yeah, so every people I think feel guilty. They cannot drink water enough a day.
I see, I see. Now tell us, how does this play into the food and maybe even your research? You said that you are water sommelier. How does this play into what you do? So do you also, or let's say, so how do you connect water with the food, for example?
Actually, I'm really interested in the relationship between food and water. And even though you have a good tea or good food ingredient, you cannot make a good output without good water.
Right.
So I really research about the relationship between food and water, and I really want to connect the good water for the specific menu.
Mm.
So that's actually, I really want to get the answer from the academic way.
How does in the hospitality business, in restaurants, hotels, and so on, do they already accept water as essential also to their guests in Korea, or are they still like water is water? We don't care about water so much. What is your opinion, or what do you see is happening?
Usually, a normal hospitality industry can recognize how water is important for the value of their hospitality.
Mm.
But in luxury hotel and hospitality industry, they really already figure out that the water can be the good
Yes, good
atomy, or yeah, good
for the digestion, you mean? Yeah.
souvenir. Yeah, souvenir. So they really wanna make their own brand water.
I see. I
So
see.
the trend is getting changed
It's
in
is
hospitality.
changing.
Yeah.
We also, I believe, see this in Slovenia. It's rising and rising, and also the
Mhm.
awareness of how water is important. And as you say, the value is missing here, right? Because
Mhm.
for so many time, if we said food is just fuel, water was really underrated, or most of it. It's here, so we
Mhm.
don't have to care about it, right? This was
Mhm.
a trend in Slovenia, I believe, or people around me, especially. I mean, I was also one of the people, I would say, although I enjoyed what I was drinking and, eating, but it never went to this level as it's now, that I'm really aware of it. Very well. So maybe if we go back to the beginning when you said that you are working as a professor at the university, tell us maybe a little bit about how do you conduct the work or research that you do, like how do you make this menu? Do you go, let's say, do you travel around and try different food pairings? How is the procedure usually?
Actually, traveling is a good inspiration from my making a menu. So just 1 month ago, I went to the China, and in China has very interesting food background, and actually I got lots of insight from their
Mm.
Chinese culture of the food. Like
Mhm.
that,
Mhm.
actually, traveling is, I think, the best way to develop the menu in on the very creative way.
So you go and you try different things and then you go and do the menu, right? But you
Uh-huh.
also probably take care that the menu is sustainable. So you really take care also about the waste you said and everything. So that
Mhm.
really everything is measured and everything is used, correct?
Yeah, that's
Mm.
correct.
I'm thinking about spices now.
Hmm.
Tell me a little bit, maybe we can start first with this. So, what is a typical Korean spice? What would you say Koreans love to use?
Actually, Korea people really love hot spicy, like a pepper.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so they really enjoying the pain of the tongue.
I see.
And
I see.
yeah. But for me, I cannot enjoy, but Korean people think they can remove their stress from trying very spicy food, maybe.
I see. I see. This is the connection, right? So they get like very, very spicy. So this they kind of balance it out. Ah, I see. I see. I see. In Slovenia, for example, we use a lot of salt, I believe. Pepper is also,
Mm-hmm.
but some of them do like spicy food. Not well, there is no trend, like we love spicy food or anything, but I believe we use a lot of salt. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
How is the salt in your country? Do you use a lot of salt too? Do you have the feeling that you use a lot of
Yeah,
salt?
yeah, we love salt also, but Korean people really worry about their health, and natrium is not good for our health. So they really try to reduce the salt portion of the food.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, many food industry really
Mm-hmm.
try to make a menu to reduce the salt from their
Oh,
food.
lovely.
Yeah,
Mm,
but
mm,
they wanna keep the taste of the menu.
mm.
So that's
That's
the kind of assignment.
what I hear, and it's so nice. And you can confirm or correct me if I'm wrong, but I hear this constant care that comes from your country. Like we need to take care of our health. That people are actually aware and they
Mhm,
make action or do action, right? And also
mhm,
what I hear is that the industry then backs it up, and it's so beautifully because I sometimes have the feeling on our side that we are not so backed up. So if I want to, I don't know, change my diet or anything, certainly there are experts also. But in your case, I really hear that people's awareness of their being, of their health is so much higher. Can you
mhm.
confirm this, that the Korean people do know how to take care of themselves?
Yeah, people really interested in take care of their themselves healthy. Yeah, because Korean people uh having lots of meat these days, but actually our original body condition is not good to handle of the meat,
Mm-hmm.
because actually my ancestor in Korea doesn't eat meat a lot. So our digestive organ is not good to handle their eat meat.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a lot of disease. They have a lot of disease these days and have cancer. So that's why they really think about the health problem, health issue these days. People.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I just got the word for it, holistic. I would say like you really take care of all the aspects, I believe, and you look at the people in the complete way.
Mhm.
You said ancestors, and then you have this track record, right? So what
Mhm.
they did, and you compare it to
Yes.
this. So that's so beautifully because I don't see the trend so much here, or maybe I'm not in around the right people, but I really feel that it's missing. It's like it doesn't connect. It's not holistic. But of course, we are learning. It's not that everything is bad, but I like how you are approaching this. Absolutely wonderful. Agnes, tell us about, because as we spoke before, you also told me that you like art, right?
Yeah. Art.
And yes, in what way does this help you maybe in your everyday life, or maybe even discovering some new creative ideas around the menus, around what you do?
Actually, art can make me refresh, even though I really exhausted from my career, and I'm mom having a two kids. It's a son, they are sons, so it sometimes it's very stressful, but art can make me more refresh and
Mhm,
get more energy. And actually, I think food and art are very similar each other. Food and art are kind of a beautiful language that connect to people. So I always empathize to my kids. You need art or music in your life, even though you having a big art, big hurdle in your life,
mhm.
but you can overcome with your art and music. That's why I keep drawing in my personal life.
Lovely, 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 sad, lovely, sad. Absolutely. I also believe that art and food and everything is has such a creative moment, like you said, bonding people, but
Yeah, yeah.
also you can express yourself really nicely through food, through
Mhm.
art, right? It really is a nice, yeah, when they come together, it's a nice symphony, definitely. Agnes, what would you say, let's say for the end of our podcast, what would be your advice maybe to people? What should they take care of in the
Mhm.
first place, and what should they be aware of in terms of climate, food? What would be
Mhm.
your advice?
Actually, personally, I had such a wonderful time sharing my story from
Mhm.
art and personal life and climate gastronomy. And your insightful question actually gave me a chance to reflect on my own journey in a new light. And I hope our conversation today provide a bit of a inspiration to your listener. And I look forward to the we meet again, whether in Korea or back in Slovenia.
Yes, me too. Me too. Thank you very much, Agnes, for all your time. I'm really honored to have you here. And I do see us coming together also through maybe conversations again, upgrading all the info that we shared today for our
Mhm.
listeners. So thank you again for your time. I really appreciate, and see you very soon. Yes,
Yeah, thank you so much for having me today.
you're welcome.